Now this video is sponsored by Ultimate Fans, which I'm sure you're all familiar with by now, where you can open packs, build a team and win weekly prizes. So don't forget the silver pack. If you subscribe for $2.99 per month, you'll receive exclusive football content, a silver pack drop every Tuesday, guaranteed 3 silver cards, a gold pack you subscribe for $4.99 per month and you get exclusive football content, a gold card pack drop every Tuesday and guaranteed 2 gold cards and 1 silver. Over 18s only, I'm afraid, and UK and Ireland only. So I'm going to tell you who I've had in my pack this week. I've had the likes of Conor Gallagher, Jamie Vardy, Phil Foden, Mark Albrighton, so all of that could be yours. So make sure you watch this Ultimate Fans video below and watch the promo and check it out. Not playing Ultimate Fan? A mix between FPL and FIFA Ultimate Team. You need to get involved.
Each week there is a big prize pool to be won during all the weekend Premier League matches.
Choose 7 cards from your maximum 24-man squad and let your players and team do the rest. Claim your weekly pack drop, select your squad and rack up as many points as you can to be in with a chance of claiming a share of the prize.
And don't forget to subscribe and enhance your chance of being victorious with access to UF Plus, which outlines behind the scenes stats, most popular player picks, injury news and podcasts across the week.
There is also a free card to be won in the UF Clash every single week, with all players entered into a mini league of 5. And the winner is going to be awarded an additional card to add to their squad on Tuesday's pack drop. Stay tuned for our UF squad selection every week on Robbie and see who we pick ahead of the upcoming game week.
You must be over 18 plus to play and T&Cs apply. Head over to ultimatefan.com or click the link below for more details.
Hey guys, and welcome to this week's Premier League preview show. We have a very special guest on, Mr. AGT himself, Alex from the Cop TV. Of course, I'm sure you're all familiar. Of course, ahead of this massive weekend's game, Liverpool versus Arsenal. Alex?
It's going to be a belter, Ab.
It is going to be a belter, but of course, we've got all the other games covered for you, so lock it. Okay, so your favourite topic, Liverpool versus Arsenal. It's the game of the weekend. I mean, I can't even lie about that, unfortunately. Liverpool have won their last 5 home Premier League matches against Arsenal. Obviously, last time out, 3-2 loss to West Ham, which I called, by the way.
You did, actually,
I did call it.
Quite annoying.
I know. Let's talk about this one.
Going to be a big game, isn't it? As you said, 5 wins in a row.
No, I think, listen, obviously they've done well. They're the form team in the Premier League at the moment, and you have to kind of tip your hat to Arteta for steering the ship in a semi-steady way. The fans are loving it. 10 on the bounce, which I would beg for that right now. Liverpool I think we've won 2 in the last 5 in the league. So naturally this is always going to be a big game, but because we lost against West Ham 3-2, thanks for reminding me,
welcome.
It makes it even bigger. And I do think this is probably the most evenly contested Liverpool-Arsenal game in a long time at Anfield.
Yeah.
Normally they get their, the 3-1, 4-0, 5-1 treatment, which obviously I'm hoping for. But it's going to be harder than normal, I'd say, this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mo Salah has been directly involved in 9 goals in 9 Premier League games against Arsenal. That's 7 goals and 2 assists. Going to carry on his incredible streak?
Do you know what? He, Firmino and Mane all love scoring against Arsenal. And I think Jota's even scored 2 in his last 2 home and away against them in his first season for Liverpool. So Salah to score against Arsenal, it's a bit of a banker really. If we are going to score a goal, which we very rarely fail to do now, then yeah, I'd say Salah is definitely going to continue that. He's 10 goals. I think Vardy's got 7, the nearest to him, so out in front.
Out in front. Okay, well Arsenal, on the other hand, have looked quite good defensively compared to Liverpool at the minute, which is not something I would really say often. Ben White, Tomiyasu coming in, Gabriel, they've really shored up the back. How do you see them breaking that down though, even with all your talent up front?
It's a good question. Listen, you have to almost respect their change of focus from attack to defence. That's what Arteta's had to do. They haven't been scoring that many goals, but they haven't been leaking many either, which is the most important thing. And I think
from the back is
Gabriel and White, it looks like that's their little partnership that they're going to go with. which is nice. You've obviously got the left back who's come in. You've got who's the right back? Cedric still?
No, I think it's Kieran Tierney.
Well, Tierney will be left back. Tomiyasu right back. Yeah.
Tomiyasu right back.
And Ramsdale's done well in goal. So how do we break that down? I think the Anfield atmosphere will have a big part to say in that. We're going to be bang up for it under the lights at Anfield Saturday night.
Saturday night.
I'll be there, so it'll be tough. But I fully expect us to still win. A tough win, but I reckon 2 or 3 goals we'll get.
Okay, all right. What is your prediction then?
I'm going to go with 3-1 Liverpool. I do think Arsenal will score. They've recently scored first in these games at Anfield, and then we kind of come back and demolish them. I think Maitland-Niles scored first, Aubameyang scored last season. But then again, like I said, we normally steamroller them. So I'm going to go with 3-1, a tough game. But yeah, I'm fully expecting us to win this home game and try and start a new record, because obviously we went 25 games unbeaten until West Ham. We haven't lost a game since March. So now it's about building something like that back up again. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, I mean, I would mirror you, but I won't. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I'm hopeful it's a Liverpool win, obviously. But yeah, I think it'll be tighter than we probably anticipate.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Manchester City versus Everton. City have lost 4 Premier League home games in 2021, including a 2-0 loss last time out against Crystal Palace. They did have 10 men, so it's a bit of an unfair stat, but Crystal Palace have also looked very, very good this year. Let's talk Man City first.
Yeah, another team that really should be playing better than they are, I actually think. And it's weird, you mentioned that stat there, they've lost 4 games at home. Obviously Liverpool had a torrid time at home from January to maybe March of this year, but then we've not really lost at home since that. So for Man City to lose 4 at home, I don't think he gets spoken about enough.
Yeah.
I actually think he gets away with it.
But City go about their business like quietly. They always do. You think back to this time last season, and they were nowhere near the top of the table. And then what they do is they pick up the points slowly but surely. Then you look around and then they're like, wow, okay, they're going to be title. They're going to be winning the title. So City always go about their business. But is it because they've got so much talent and because what Guardiola has done? Is that why they get away with it?
Well, they've bought their way to the successful top, and listen, we can laugh and joke, but essentially the amount of money that they've pumped in, if they weren't winning the league every year, then you'd ask some serious questions. And I think if they don't win the league this year, and someone like a Liverpool or a Chelsea wins it, there has to be some serious questions asked of Guardiola, because he's come in, obviously to dominate English football. I think they've won 4 out of the last 6 titles, which is great for them. But it's that European thing that they still haven't been able to crack.
This was my next question. So do you think that some of the focus maybe isn't actually on the Premier League title? Do you think it's on the Champions League?
Their squad is that big and that talented that they can easily make lots of changes in Europe and in domestically as well. Listen, they have to win a Champions League. They have to. And it's almost at the point now where if Guardiola does leave maybe next year without a Champions League, is that a successful period? I think that's what he was brought in to do. But listen, this game is going to be a belter. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be goals.
Everton are winless in their last 5 Premier League games, drawn 2 and lost 3. Last time out they had Spurs at home, with the Toffees having a longer run without a win since Sam Allardyce was there. So
tough times. I mean, you know me.
Rafa Benitez.
Yeah,
You're not harbouring any angst towards him, are you?
No, I don't. But I live in Liverpool. I speak to Everton fans all the time. I work with Everton fans. And they reckon he's going to be gone within the month.
Really?
Which is so weird,
but
because he started off well.
Who do you bring in to replace?
I think it's a bit early to talk about that. You've still got to give him his chance. They started really well, actually, under Benitez. They came from behind at home to win in his first game, which I don't think they've done in a long time. But yeah, like you said, the last 5 games have been awful. And like I said, working with Everton fans, you understand that at the start they were very resentful towards him, but now they're even more so because of the downturn of form.
I think that was always going to be the thing. The second they had bad results, they were going to turn
point the finger,
very quickly at him because they didn't want him in the first place. Yeah. Manchester City have won their last 7 Premier League matches against Everton, scoring 21 times and conceding only 5. So if you base it on stats, you'd say it's heavily in Manchester City's favour. What's your prediction?
Everton traditionally don't do well away at Manchester City. It is a tough place to go, but Everton will be looking at the fact that Crystal Palace have just won there.
Yep.
So they're going to be up for it. They're going to be up for the fight, the scrap. Benitez versus Guardiola, that's a really intriguing battle. It's kind of a mix of 2 generations, 2 different playing styles. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw with this one.
Tight.
Yeah, I mean, I want Everton to take a few points off of City. Do me a favour for once in your goddamn lives, you Toffees. But yeah, I'm going to go with 1-0, bit of a shocker.
All right, I'm going to go with 2-0 Manchester City. I just don't think Everton have got enough for me. They've got a lot of injuries as well, and less people are coming back now after international break. They have had quite a few injuries. So, yeah, I'm going to back City for that. And don't forget, it's live on Don Robbie on Sunday at 2 p.m. So make sure you tune in. Leicester versus Chelsea. This is like a really tasty game.
Big game.
Really tasty game. Leicester are unbeaten in their last 3 home Premier League matches against Chelsea. They've won 1 and drawn 2, so they've got quite a good record. Chelsea have only lost 3 of their last 18 Premier League games, though, against Leicester. Won 10 and drawn 5.
Interesting.
Not much to split them. What do you reckon?
Again, another close game. We've already spoken about 2 games already that I do think will be close. This will be another one. Leicester have got a lot to prove. They've kind of slipped away a little bit. They might be picking it back up slowly and surely.
They're a little bit like on that up and down motion at the minute,
and
aren't
I think after their FA Cup win against Chelsea, let's not forget, Chelsea have definitely got some revenge to dish out. But Chelsea looking light up top.
Yeah.
Obviously Lukaku's not firing. I think
they've had their own
Burnet's
injury concerns, haven't they?
Yeah, and again though, you look at the squad and the players that they can bring in, maybe not in that number 9 position, but someone like Ziyech, Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Barkley's playing back now, Pulisic is back from injury.
Yeah.
Again, swap and changing easily. So yeah, it's a tough one. This is at Leicester, right?
This is at Leicester.
King Power.
This is at Leicester.
I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, Abbi.
2-2 draw for that.
Yeah,
okay. Well, just because we're at, obviously the home of Arsenal, Leicester striker Jamie Vardy is just 2 goals away from equaling Ian Wright's Premier League record of 93 goals scored after turning 30.
Wow.
After turning 30. So that's an incredible stat right there.
Some player, Jamie Vardy.
Absolutely incredible
player.
stat. What was your prediction again?
I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2.
At the King Power.
Okay, I'm going to make it tight. I'm going to go 1-1.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go 1-0.
So you don't think Chelsea will win?
No, I think that going to the King Power is hard enough, and I think that they're quite even. Not in terms of obviously squad depth, but I think in the way that they might set up in Leicester at home. Yeah. I always tend to back Leicester at home. That's why I was so shocked when this lot beat them as they did a few weeks ago.
What do you reckon about Brendan? Do you reckon he's got one eye on the door?
Oh, I think that's...
He always, whatever club he's at, he's got an eye on the door.
It's interesting because I feel like he hasn't really been quiet about that either. He's been very open, whether it be Manchester City,
He doesn't shut the rumours down, does he?
No, not at all. So I think that, that's... I guess he's got an eye on the United job at the moment, or Guardiola if he leaves at the end of the season. Whether or not which one he'd rather choose, but it looks like he's going to be heading to Manchester.
If he goes to Old Trafford, then wow. I mean, I don't have the fondest memories of Brendan anyway, apart from that one season. But if he goes there, he'll wipe away all of the good stuff he did at Liverpool, for sure.
I don't reckon he cares that much about that.
That's what it's all
Money
about, Brendan.
talks in this game. And guys, live on Don Robbie again, of course, at 12:30 on Saturday. Okay, so lots of other games to get predictions and crack on through. Spurs versus Leeds, which again is live on Don Robbie at 4:30 on Sunday.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm just excited for football to be back.
Same.
4 months we've got now without any international break.
No interruptions.
I'll be watching all these games. Right, Spurs Leeds, did you say?
Yes.
This is a game that is maybe the most must-win game out of any team this weekend.
Yeah.
I think Spurs have to win this. You have to get off to a good start with Conte as your manager. He's not going to accept anything less than a win. Listen, Leeds have been disappointing this season, considering how well they played last season. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? I think Rafinha's got to leave there as soon as he can.
Yeah.
But I am going to go for a 2-1 Spurs win. I think Kane has to come back now and show that form for Spurs, and there's a lot of pressure on this game.
Yeah.
To the point where I think Leeds will crumble. The fans, Conte, it's all new. So for you, I'm hoping for your sake that they win.
Well, do you know what? They looked slightly better against Everton. They looked way more organised.
Yeah.
And I could see what obviously Conte was what he wants to do. My only concern is I think that Christian Romero picked up an injury on international duty, so I think we're waiting to see how severe that is, which could be a problem because I would have also gone with the same scoreline as a 2-1.
Yeah.
But again, it's just the defence for me.
What are you going with then? You're saying a draw then? Your body language is telling me a draw.
I'm going to back Spurs for once. I'm going to back us. I'm going to go with a 2-0.
2-0.
I just want to make it different from yours,
Yeah, go on then.
I'm going to make it different. So 2-0 Spurs. Right, Aston Villa versus Brighton. Villa with their new manager, the one and only Steven Gerrard, mate.
Heavy da.
He needed that Premier League job before he comes back to you.
See, I thought that if he stayed at Rangers, big up, if he stayed at Rangers to see out his contract, I think he would have walked into the Liverpool job.
Really?
However, the fact that he's gone there is almost a win-win for Liverpool, because if he's rubbish, we're not going to have him. But if he's really good, we'll have him.
And also it's good, I think, to get Premier League experience. Like, no disrespect to SPL, but it's totally different.
Yeah,
you know?
and Villa's probably the one club I would have chosen for him. However, big game against Brighton.
Yeah.
Obviously just done really well at Anfield recently, Brighton. Graham Potter. His stock has risen, hasn't it?
His stock has risen massively.
They're talking about him.
I wanted him at Spurs.
Well, this is the thing. They're talking about him linked to all these big jobs. Big game that. Stevie G, I'll be watching that. I reckon that, is it at Villa Park?
It's at Villa Park.
I'd like Villa to win. I'd like Villa to win for Stevie, and obviously give Brighton a little dig after they so rudely drew against us at Anfield a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to go with 1-0 to Villa.
Okay, I'm going to go 2-1 Aston Villa. I think it'll be tight though. I just think, like you said, like new manager bounce and home advantage will edge it for
Ings as well. Yeah.
Aston Villa. Yes, hopefully they'll have some of their injuries back, because they've had loads of issues.
It's been a tough season for Villa, but hopefully Stevie sorts them out.
Yep, absolutely. Watford versus Manchester United. It's at Watford. Ollie's at the wheel. Still.
Yeah, I mean, we were singing that at the Atletico game at Anfield, still ringing around that song. It's the kind of game that you could see an upset in, but what is an upset with United these days? You know, the whole rule book has just gone out the window with United because Ollie is at the wheel. I'm going to go with a draw.
Wow.
I think Watford, with their home fans, are going to make it really difficult for United.
Okay.
They've got some very, very good players at the minute, Watford, and I just think with Pogba out, it's just a mess at United. I even saw something today saying he's been sacked, or
I see it all
it's
the
very
time,
close to being sacked. So
I don't know.
Who knows what's going on?
Who knows what is going on?
Draw.
But somehow he's still there. Okay, you're going draw.
I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Watford fans, I don't back your team that much. Even under Ranieri, I just don't. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Manchester United. I think it's a bit audacious of me, but I'd be surprised.
Maybe it's somewhere in the middle from both of our
somewhere in the middle.
predictions.
I'll go on that though. Wolves versus West Ham. West Ham flying, and Wolves, to be fair, have looked much better lately. Really have.
And this is at the Molineux, is it?
This is at Molineux.
In that case, again, I think it's going to be. Obviously, West Ham buoyant after just beating us. Have you seen Antonio's goal for Jamaica?
Yes, it was
some strike. Apparently, his first goal outside the box in 7 years.
Amazing goal.
So
however, for West Ham, big blow with Kurt Zouma out now till the end of the season, isn't it?
Is that till the end of the season?
I think it's till the end of the season. I should double check that.
That is a huge,
but I think it was
shout.
quite a long-term injury.
Yeah, that's horrible if he is. I mean, played really well against Liverpool. I think Ogbona's out as well for a long time. So
this is where West Ham, we could see them have unfortunate for them, change.
Yeah. I think West Ham will nick this one though. I'm going to go with 2-1.
Okay. I'm going to back West Ham because I do something right if I back West Ham at the minute. Get my scores and predictions in. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
Okay.
Okay. Burnley versus Crystal Palace.
Palace looking
Burnley had
really
that good draw against Chelsea.
Yeah, unbelievable draw for them. And
typically,
it's so weird.
can I just say that was my banker on that weekend. I had Chelsea to obviously win that, and they didn't. And I thought to myself, oh my God, typical.
Yeah, again, Burnley, such a dirty side in terms of the fouls that they give away, which everyone kind of glossed over when we played them. And then I think when they played Chelsea, all the Chelsea fans going, look how dirty they are. And it's their way of playing, and
they
you can't deny it. They do grind out results. So
Crystal Palace on fine form.
Gallagher on fire, just had his debut there for England. I'm going to go with an away win.
Okay.
I'm going to go 3-1 Palace.
Wow, okay. I'm going to go 2-0 Palace. Harsh on Burnley, but
maybe, but you know,
I just think
they
Palace
just stick around Burnley, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You can't get rid of them.
I like a bit of chewing gum on your shoes. Like you try and get them off, but they're still there.
Can't get rid of them. But I think Palace have looked fantastic this season. Credit to Patrick Vieira. Right, Norwich versus Southampton. It's Dean Smith's first game in charge of Norwich. It's like musical managers, isn't it? Everyone's moving around here, there and everywhere.
How that's just come about, where he's left his Villa job that he was so adored there and just walked into a Norwich job.
10 days later.
Yeah, it makes sense. It does make sense for all parties. He's got a massive job to do. They're going down, really, aren't they?
if
he keeps them up.
That's, manager of the season.
We've heard of the Great Escape in 2005 with West Brom.
Yeah.
But I reckon if Smith keeps Norwich up, that will be the new Great Escape. And I think Southampton's a tough game, even at home. That's a tough
Southampton
game.
have been on a good run lately as well.
I'm going to go with a 0-0, which actually would probably be a good
Be
result
good
for
it would
Norwich.
be very good for Norwich. I'm going to say 1-0 Norwich.
Fair play.
Like
New manager bounce.
yeah, I always tend to back the new manager bounce.
You say that, the new manager bounce.
Didn't work with Spurs. but-
Ranieri came in at Watford.
yes.
We won 5-0 against
Yeah,
him in
but
his
he-
first game. But then in his
yes,
second game,
yes.
he won 5-2 at Everton.
You're correct, but I would say that it's different when you have you lot first game and you're a team like
Yeah.
Watford or Norwich or things like that. I probably wouldn't back Norwich, but I think that even though Southampton have been on a good run, I think that, again, new lease of life, energy, new ideas. 1-0, might just
see.
nick it. And finally, Newcastle, another new manager in
Newcastle.
Eddie Howe versus Brentford.
Big game that is, the battle of the stripes. Black and white versus red and white. Yeah, like you say, Eddie Howe, he was made for that job. I think in this period of transition,
Yeah.
he was the person that maybe comes in for the next 2 or 3 years, and then with
Steadies the
all
ship,
due respect
keeps
to
them
him,
up.
they try and get someone
Yeah,
bigger.
they were just looking at the wrong areas, you know, like no disrespect to Newcastle, but Unai Emery's not going to come in and, you know, manage to keep you up. I think that
Yeah.
when you're looking at top 10 managers, you have to have some stability, which Newcastle don't have. And, you
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't back an Unai Emery in a relegation fight. I might back an Eddie Howe, though, because of his time at Bournemouth and what he's done, you know, in that time.
How funny would it be if we get to like February and Big Sam comes in to
Well,
save the season? Unreal. Now listen, we were talking with Matty last night, weren't we, at the AFTV party? A few sore heads this morning. He's buzzing, as he should be. However, at home to Brentford, I can see this being a draw.
Okay,
which
yeah.
again is that Newcastle haven't won this season.
No.
When are they going to win?
Well, they
Again.
will at some point, but also Brentford on the flip side have realised the harsh reality of the
Yeah.
Premier League in recent weeks. They were everyone's darlings, they were doing so well, but I think that time does set in and you start to realise how difficult and competitive this league is.
Love to see Ivan Toney at Liverpool though. Just saying.
Fantastic player.
saying.
What did you say, draw?
I'm going to go for draw.
Okay, I'm also going to go for the draw.
1-0 I reckon.
I'm going to match you. I'm going to match you with a 1-1 draw as well. So that is everything for this week's Premier League preview. Thank you so much. Have you enjoyed yourself on here?
I have. It's been a pleasure as always, Abby.
Always a
Always.
pleasure.
Never a
Always
chore.
a pleasure. Make sure you guys check out the COP TV as well, where you can see all of Alex's content. And I'll be back with you on Monday for Weekend Roundup with Pippa.